Good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. Welcome everybody from the media group Russian Today. And we start our press event, Project Legend of BRICS, our fundamental basis of the associations under the new political reality. Today we are talking about intercultural interaction, which is acquiring more and more senses and meanings. In this case, we'll discuss with our guests the Legend of BRICS Fund, moral authorities, intellectual leaders of the past and the present, the key ideas. This project will unite not only the representatives of different countries, but to enrich the general that is the basis of each dialogue. And it's my pleasure to introduce our guests. That's the president of the International BRICS Forum, Purnima. Ms. Purnima, good afternoon, glad to see you. The president of the Biographical Institute of Alexander Zinoviev, the honorary president of the International Society, Russia, Germany, Olga, glad to see you. Good afternoon, dear friends, dear comrades. Those who are sympathizers. It's a very special conference that is dedicated to the first official declaration. Well, we spoke about it. It's not first, of course, but first of all, I would like to say some kind words towards Purnima ANAND. She is a very bright person, very responsible person. There is always fire in all the projects she addresses and she tackles. And it's a big guarantee of the fact that we'll achieve the international level of a recognition that is necessary to address the problems and the issues that we face. Our idea, our project, the Legends of BRICS, that seemed to be in the air. But I had our meeting with Purnima ANAND, and it came into being. We understood each other. We realized that we need each other in order to implement the number of problems, the projects that. A lot of efforts, a lot of assistance, lots of benevolent assistance will be needed, not only in our 5 countries, the agents of which you can see, but we'll need people from other countries. We receive any assistance, any help from all over. Thank you very much. Ms. ANAND, I would like to listen to you. Could you share what is the international interaction between India and Russia, and what's the purpose of the project?
Good afternoon. I'm very glad to come Russia on this special time when we are celebrating 100 years of Alexander Zinoviev, because it's not easy to say that what was life cycle of Alexander Zinoviev. When I met last time with Madam Zinovieva, she told me that how struggle he faced and how he was always not satisfied with the systems which then time taking place. So I also studied a lot after discussing with her because Zinoviev was a person who was always thinking, and he thinks beyond the system because he want equality among the humanity, and he was connected with the nature. That's why whenever some system developed, either it was Stalin society, then communism take place, and people said all people will be equal, then he objected. He said, no, it is not possible. All people cannot be equal. It is very difficult to say that time when all higher authorities are saying that people will be equal. But Zinoviev was the person who raised the voice that it is not possible because he think beyond it. He think because different geographical areas, different cultures, different languages, they cannot make people at one time equal. So society is imbalanced and forcefully you cannot do anything equal at a time. That's why communism broken after a long time in Soviet Union. And due to his these controversies, he was expelled and he went out of Soviet Union then. And long time he lived in Germany and he discussed his thoughts, his philosophy in other countries, especially in Europe. And that time he understand West, that how West is developing and how democracies are taking place and this democratic system will sustain or not. So he studied a lot during his expulsion time from Soviet Union. But I want to say that in India, the smell of a flower you cannot stop and you cannot throw. It will go everywhere. So this was the beauty and this was the importance of Alexander Zinoviev, that when Russia, after Soviet Union, Russian Federation developed, Russian Federation understand philosophical societies and thinkers understand what was the importance of Alexander Zinoviev. And somehow a system or Zinoviev or his family system managed to come back to his motherland and he arrived to Russian Federation and he started to work on democratic process which was taking place after Russian Federation development after 92. So this was the cycle, this was the his struggle, and this was the thinking process because like Gandhi was from well-off family and he studied in London. And he understand that democracy is taking place in London or Britain, but he was not convinced that in India that democracy he understand in India, it is a slavery. So this is the thought process because thinkers who think beyond, they understand what will happen after this. So Gandhi was also revolutionary and Nelson Mandela we know, due to Nelson Mandela, Africa got the freedom. So thinkers are very much important and they can change the society. Society system cannot change them, but they change the society. So they are the reformers. It is very important. And why I am working with Madam Olga, because I think next generation should understand it. And we should transfer the values of these thinkers and philosophers and revolutionaries to next generation. Like in current Russia-Ukraine situation, we saw that somehow because systems are different, Russia and Ukraine at borders, they are having their genuine problems in Crimea or in Donetsk and other regions. But Western world understand differently. They are understanding that Russia is trying to invade the Ukrainian regions, but fact is different. So how these facts will go to the next generation, because some news is coming that invasion is happening and Russia is trying to control the areas, but how facts will go. We need to mobilize, we need to say the fact time to time by the dialogue meetings. When system is not helping, we need network, we need cooperation, we need work together. So we need good bonding, that we are doing right things, and I always prefer that right things should be known by the next generation because they are our future. And our future generation will protect, they will save the motherland and country and nature. So I request Olga ji and Biogeographical Institute of Alexander Zinoviev that we should work together in 5 countries in BRICS, because BRICS is coming forward with new powers and new model in compared to Western system. Because in last few years we saw that Western system is not complete model for sustainability. Recently, we saw that in London, first Prime Minister resigned. Then recently, in I think 40 days or 45 days, Liza Trust resigned. So that shows that democratic system is also having problems. So we need to reform. We need more discussions. I think for our sustainable civilization, we need to reform. We need to discuss more to refine. So that refine and fine tuning we can do by the discussions and by meetings, by adopting the culture of different countries. So I feel that BRICS is having very unique geographical situation, natural resources, very good population, good educational society, and we covered Asia, Africa, and Latin American countries, and very big country, Russia. So with this cooperation, we can expand the thinkings of Alexander Zinoviev, and I'm very happy that I come here on 100th anniversary celebration. I will visit to his native place and I will meet with his students, his family during my visit. So I'm very honored and I'm thankful to Geographical Institute, Biogeographical Institute, who invited me. I hope it will be a very fruitful meeting and we will organize few programs in India after my visit and we will see successful cooperation. Thank you very much.
Спасибо вам.
Thank you, Ms. Anand. Olga Miron, Ms. Mironat already taught about the importance of dialogue and cooperation. Can you share about the plans of the nearest events? They say if you want to make God laugh, then tell him about your plans. But since we are on the earth, the God, of course, looks at us, but we should take into consideration what is taking, well, of course, what is happening in the heaven. Of course, it somehow correlates with our earthly life, but we live under strict conditions of planning of our different events, and what we managed to get united with Purnima, my dearest friend, allows me telling you about the plans that's going to be implemented according to the protocol, to the idea. We see 5 representatives of this idea. The Legends of BRICS, Paulo Coelho, who represents Brazil for our, yes, that's him, no questions, Alexander Zinoviev. That's the year of his 100 years anniversary. We all know about him. Mahatma Gandhi, special figure, special significance, special value, and very high moral status. That's Mahatma Gandhi. Confucius, philosopher of the philosophers. I'll come to this. And Nelson Mandela, who represents South Africa fighting for freedom. These are the figures. They are not accidental. These are not random choice like in a lottery. All those were all weighted. It was well-weighted and well-substantiated decisions. Why those 5 figures? I can say that concerning Alexandrovich Zinoviev, in Chinese they call him Russian Confucius. In Greece they called him Russian Socrates. In Urals, in Satka, there will be a monument to 3 thinkers: Socrates, Zinoviev, and Confucius. But what came into being as the legend of BRICS, this is hyper fantastic, because we can see our program in the following way. We are 5 countries, we need to visit them, and in all our travels, these are not just travels, just sightseeing, just fun. This will be trips with conferences, exhibitions, show, concerts, meeting with students and members of the faculty. This is a program for 2 months in each country. The first trip to India, Alexander Zinoviev and Mahatma Gandhi. And we take to the toppest level the format of their communication, of their mental, intellectual understanding, what it means for our two great countries. The next trip might be to South Africa, where there will be again Alexander Zinoviev. The idea was in Moscow. That's this year, the 100 years of Zinoviev. That was Purnima's idea. Thank you, Purnima. There will be Alexander Zinoviev and Nelson Mandela, the next. Maybe there will be Brazil, where we'll go with such dual program, Paulo Coelho and Alexander Zinoviev, two authors. And very rich possibilities to meet the universities of Brazil, where we wanted to go. Our Brazil friends, our Brazilian friend is here. This is Professor Vicento, sorry. And the member of our Zinoviev Club, Zusha Severissima, who took part in several Zinoviev readings, where they wait for us in Brasilia, no doubt, and then there was Confucius, and Alexander Zinoviev will come to see him. In a way, our research educational center, what is in the Lalal and Marine University. For the first time when we came there,
И в том числе привели на берег океана, где стоит гигант.
To the ocean, where there's a big statue to Confucius, we, members of our delegation, there will be, by all means, the statue to Zinoviev next to Confucius. I'm talking to that, not as a head of organization. I'm talking that as a loving person, because Zinoviev is the biggest discovery in my life. Sorry for the sentiments that I share at a meeting like that. We'll have lots of events. We publish books, we'll publish albums. We meet with younger people. We do that not for us. Everything's fine with us. Everything's fine with us. We should think about children, about the younger generation, what planet we prepared for them, whether it is convenient, comfortable for living, and we can do to overcome all these coverings, all these gaps in education, in upbringing, for the children to have the opportunity to read on time, to get the patterns, the samples to copy. I think Legends of Grip is absolute. Thank you very much. Today at our venue, these are journalists. Do you have questions? Gleb Budar in the regions of Russia. Olga, Purnima, thank you for coming over, for taking your time. Question 2, very important due to the fact that for us, BRICS, and for many of us, it's charming, is related to the power of the population, the power of national economies, the cultural traditions. These are the countries with population, national economy, and culture. The view from the project of Legends of BRICS is pointed to the figures, specific persons who represent this tradition, but it's not exhaustive how to represent the entire potential of the ideologies, of the intellectual elements that are available in each BRICS country, the representatives of which are in the project Legends of BRICS. What are the super tasks you see in order to reveal the entire potential of the countries? and trying to make, sorry for saying that, to making money from the capital, to reveal the entire, discover the entire potential of the countries, not spice.
Actually, when we are planning one project and when we are taking legends of the country, that means we are taking complete potential of the then time to modern society. And one view is that Mahatma Gandhi was in the revolution time, Nelson Mandela was in Nelson revolution time. They take their country from darkness to brightness by the revolution. And similarly, in Russia also, from communism to democracy, society changed. So one legend is like a sun. It can give lights to many human society and spark to their thoughts, to the student, philosophical people, or economic people, or political people, or bureaucrats. So these are the legends we selected. But further we want, during exhibitions, we will invite and we will honor different people of the society, maybe scientists, maybe economists, or climate people, or from rural background, because China and India is very big country, population is very big. And I feel that we should not work on dollar or ruble or yuan and rupee power. We should work on human index, that what is the status of human being in our countries. So according to that, we should make the future plannings. So Alexander Zinoviev was also thinking and working on it, that how every human being will get the benefit of the system. So these exhibition plan is one step to move forward with the legendary ideas and their thought process. In next step, we will select new people who are honored, who did lot of work for the society. And in third step, we will make the executive teams who will help us to increase the and expansion the work plans for the development of the societies and development of the BRICS countries. So one very important point is that I request from this channel, it is very big channel, that BRICS is not having secretariat. And in all summits take place government to government level. And BRICS International Forum, like we develop it like a think tank or like-minded people who understand the importance of BRICS and who wants to work on BRICS. We are working together and we are uniting, we are selecting good people. But we need secretariat where we can give our projects, we can structure the things and we can assign the people. So let's see, in South Africa summit, we will raise the voice. In every summit, we tell and write. In South Africa, maybe, because now new countries are applying for the membership of BRICS countries like Turkey, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, Argentina. So new people likes to come in BRICS, and especially Indonesia I like to mention, because in coming months in Indonesia G20 conference is going to be held, and Indonesia accepted and requested to apply for the membership of BRICS also. They contacted to Valentina Matvienko ji, and they want to connect with BRICS. It shows the power of BRICS, the importance of BRICS, and understanding about the BRICS by other countries. When they are holding G20, they are understanding they need to be joined BRICS. So coming back to your question, we need to understand potential of the countries and importance of our legends, and we need to expand with our cooperation and fruitful results. Thank you.
Спасибо. Ольга Мироновна.
It's my pleasure to hear what my friend, my sister Purnima said. I would like to expand. We understand each other very well from the very first second. That's what she said I would like to add. Now we in the paradigm of uniting. All the world unites needs unification, not division, not divided, but united. Not division, what in the West, and what they say, divide and rule. That's the divide and oppose one culture to another culture. That's their status. We are for peace, cooperation, mutual understanding, mutual education, mutual care, what our world expects, unless we change our thought. The last words in the book of my husband, which is considered to be the book is called Factor of Understanding. The last sentence, the mankind will die because of its stupidity. Stupidity means world crime, assassinations, segregation, nationalism, fascism, and everything related to that. And the BRICS faces a task, our association faces a task. We should do everything possible, maybe change the United Nations, which is now useless in a way now. For each person would understand that his or her opinion is important, that his or her destiny is of concern for another person. There shouldn't be any, this predisposition in destiny. That's the way it will be. And this thing as the index of happiness, that is well known in the West as a necessary thing to define the quality of the system. The index of happiness should be applicable to everybody, and each village, each community, each village, big country, small country, for this index of happiness should be felt. It shouldn't be just on the paper to make people happy. It is necessary to have much more efforts than investing $500 million into devastating Ukraine, Russia, whatever. As an ancient philosopher used to say, he was looking for people with a candle during daylight. We are not with the candle. We are with our flag, with our attitudes. BRICS is a phenomenal association. We should bow in front of it, bow to it, and let's all get together. I'm not speaking about the planetarium that should unite. I'm speaking about the peoples. There is only one life. There is only one planet. Whether you have billions or you have golden yachts, you are still on the at the abyss, and you'll have to account to the Lord eventually. That's why I care about people, not monetary joys, but for people to understand that it's a rare happiness to be born in this system that is called the planet of Earth. Thank you. Are there more questions? Zabarda, Christian World magazine, thank you for this unique world project that brings love, understanding, and making a human stay a human the way he was created by the Lord. And you thought, dear speakers, You said that the basis of the world, this is love and understanding. And you said that there is such a direction, area of working with children. Can you tell me a little bit more about your projects working with children? Because children now, this is our very important thing. They're the heroes of our time. Because our future, the future, our planet. Thank you. Projects about which are related to children. Purnima and you, Olga.
Thank you for your question. As I said that next generation and childrens are very important to transfer the real sense what is happening in current society. So the way how we want to work, it is a 100th anniversary of Alexander Zinoviev, and we are requesting Rosotridny Chestvo because it is a Russian international society, and through Rosotridny Chestvo in whole world we are having Russian center, Russian houses, where we can conduct different competitions for the children. So first I like that we can conduct in 5 countries. We can organize painting competitions or poetry recitations or essay competition where they will think about BRICS Legends, and they will understand about the BRICS countries' importance. So this is my first project after exhibition. As I said, first part is exhibitions to tell what is the importance of these 5 legends and what is the potential of 5 countries. Second part, we will select different important people of those countries. And third part is to invite new people in all sections, in schools, colleges, universities, civil organizations, and government organizations, and economic organizations also, because economic organizations are very important. The students of business, science, and new climate change problems are also very important. So this is the third step. So we are communicating on 100th anniversary of Alexander Zinoviev with Madam Olga, and we are also cooperating with the International Amicability Diplomatic Club. They are having international wings, and they are coordinating with the ambassadors of different countries who are ready to cooperate. Many African countries already confirmed they are interested for participation, and I think in our next conference, some ambassadors will join us. And like this, Rostrodny Chestvo is already, I had one meeting, and we are expecting next meeting very soon. If this project is defined by authorities of geographical organizations, civil organizations, then I hope that Rosotny Chestvo, through its Russian houses, can explore these competitions and these programs for children and youth of these countries. Thank you.
Моя очередь.
I would like to add the possibilities of working with children and younger generation are limitless if you are ready to get down from the word to the deeds. First, this was the word, then this was the deed. In order to implement the deed and making children believe you, and children and youth, that's the most difficult stratum. You cannot just read papers to them. You should show them results. In its time in Germany, when I was the president of our society, Russia, Germany, we had a very, very interesting conference that similar to music competition, Jugendmusik. They play anybody from Germany, any young person since 5 years, or do you play something? Do you recite poems? You can take part in this competition. It's an opportunity for everybody. Anybody who feels ability to do something that others cannot do that. And similarly to that, I want to say younger people communicate. It was just wonderful, wonderful. The thing is that one thing when you can say, another thing how they hear you, how they understand you. Our conference get lots of impetus in Germany, and we implement those projects. And the experience that I have from my participation in our work Russia in Germany, I use it for the prospects of our future success. On our building, on its front, it was written, telling the truth. We must tell the truth. That's the most difficult for a human being on this who is somehow related by some links, some responsibilities. How can a child say why we are hungry at our neighbors? They have everything, they have chocolate, but you have to tell the truth to the child. It's very important. Are there more questions? It's a unique project, but in our times, it's not easy to implement it. Are there any things to overcome for it to be implemented, to be sustained and supported by the society? Olga, can you say? And Purnima can do that. How to make it live, how to make society support it.
Countries everywhere, children's societies are existing, and as I said, Rosotrudnichestvo is having its offices in every country. And in India, I know Rosotrudnichestvo is having their very good centers in Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, and South India. So we do invite Indian students there, and we will explain them. And as Olga ji said, that they are very creative. They are more sharp and intelligent. They can understand very well, and they will really create beautiful ideas through their paintings, through their creativity. So I am having hope that we can do easily. It's not very tough, because if we will weave good societies together, then information communication is easy, and execution is also possible. So we are selecting good organizations, and good network is developing. And as I said that recently on Russia-Ukraine crisis with BRICS countries, we are inviting all peacemakers, peace-loving people in Israel. And this diplomatic club is organizing peace conference and in November. So we do expand the idea of BRICS Legend through Israel also, because Israel is very important country, and I hope we will find solutions for this Russia-Ukraine crisis, to convert this crisis into peaceful results. And like this, with the good network and communication, this execution is possible.
Спасибо.
Thank you, Purnima. It's difficult to add anything after you, but I'll do my best. The biggest problem facing our forum, our BRICS forum, the countries that are already members of BRICS and would like to join BRICS, we should speak loudly about the need of adequate education for the countries, BRICS members. These are not NATO countries. These are the countries where there is a big population, lots of poverty, and in order to overcome this terrible poverty, besides the parcels of humanitarian aid, this is just a drop in the desert, or besides the aid to the regions that are in war, for example. We need this system of education everywhere and every day. Just a question from a Russian book which served the basis for the Russian movie, the son of the desert. A prison officer was taken by the Reds, and he's from the Tsarist army, and it's very hard. It's very hot. He just steps and steps. They're amazed. Your Highness, sorry, Your Honor, how does it? We suffer, and you are all right. And he says a word, pronounces a word, which is the key word to all our problems. This is culture. This is culture. Culture. Culture is the key. Good afternoon. I'm from Brazil, from Rio de Janeiro. I would like to ask all those ideas about forums in different countries since 2 months, it's quite limited time, and you'll be not able to visit all the country. Maybe it will be advisable to create some videos, video clips for university students, for school students, just to tell them about the countries of BRICS, because 2 months is not enough to visit, or maybe telling them about the legends of BRICS, telling them about those thinkers. When you go to a country, you are there 2 months, and film is also very important. You can always show it. You can show it several times at colleges, at universities, at school, where they will show their interest to thinkers. Senor Vicente, it's a brilliant idea about video clips. Good that you are here, otherwise we'll have to invent it. We would have come to this idea. Of course, support material is very important. Like in its time, while we were in the Soviet time, we were preparing for some big exhibition. Big documentaries were made that were telling about our country, about children, about adults, about industry, about medical sector, about education. We need a big work, big map. It's like a personal card of our country for people, children, young people, aunts and uncles, when they see this film. And if they had questions, we would be able to answer the question. But on my side, I would like to propose the following thing. Since we are going to get prepared, and we talked about with Purnima, since we are going to get prepared to our long trips like that, it will be very useful, for this for these countries where we are going to go, maybe it will be important to have BRICS headquarters. For example, we go to Brazil, and they should have BRICS headquarters. These are people who are ready to help, to organize, to be our guides, not just look to the right, to the left. But these are the people who know about their country and seen their countries more than us. When we came to Chile for the first time, we were in Chile, and I was asked, Madam, what would you like to see? I didn't want something organized. I wanted to do more randomly. I would like to visit schools. We come to a big or a small city, and they say, well, where is the school? We come to the school, we see children who are at the lesson, we are in class, we would like something of the kind, something random, to understand what is life. We need to visit a hospital, to visit kindergarten, to visit maybe nursing home. Well, even shopping is very informative. Thank you. Ms. Anand, would you like to add something?
Your suggestion is very good because nowadays video and soft power skills are very important, and we can speed up our work. So we shall think, because this kind of organizations existing in all 5 countries, and this kind of competitions can be created. And I know Sandeep Marwa Institute in India, they are doing such work that their young people make the films on different topics, and they expand it in different countries through the university film festivals. So we can connect BRICS universities together, and we can create the competitions for video making. So this will be a very fast idea to communicate BRICS Legend idea and BRICS countries' potential and expansion of programs. Thank you.
Спасибо. И хотелось бы адресовать вам один...
And I would like to ask a question that we received online. The mission of the project, doesn't it repeat the dialogue of civilization? You know, dialogue of civilization, isn't it the same? Isn't the mission the same as your project?
Recently, we visited to Novosibirsk, and we met there with many people, and we discussed about BRICS Legends program, because we are trying to communicate everywhere, and we are searching like-minded people. And in Novosibirsk University, it is very famous, popular university, and it gave many Nobel laureates to the world. So we discussed with the chief of the university, and he suggested us that next year in Technoprom, we can launch the idea of civilization. So we are inviting, because scientific diplomacy is also very important. Nowadays, current societies depend on science. Digitalization is happening. During pandemic, we saw that everybody was locked in the houses, but on communication, on Zoom, we were more busy than our routine previous lives. So digital life, digitalization, robotics, artificial intelligence is converting Olga's or my life into digitalization, robotics. So this is also very important to understand. So dialogue of digital civilization for peaceful world, it is important. And next year we are declaring so many awards to young generation in Novosibirsk, and we will discuss during this week long sessions with Olga ji and other organizations, that how we can make it more successful and more important for the world, for world peace and cooperation.
Я добавлю, диалог цивилизаций.
dialogue of civilization is a very good beginning. The word was at the beginning, from the dialogue, from the words, from the ideas. We should get down to deeds, to cooperation, co-understanding of the problems we face. That's why our task of the BRICS Forum and the task of BRICS to move the world. Too much was said. We're living in the ocean of words. We are short of deeds. I'm taking this responsibility, would like to move the world towards the kindness that we failed to reach. We want harmony, we want happiness. We have opportunities and fair work, a possibility to self-assert, not to feel safe and secure. Let's move forward and be friends. Oh dear friends, we covered most of the issues. Okay, would you like to say a few words at the end of the event?
Is a beginning, and during 1 week long celebrations, sessions and conferences, we will find new solutions, new partners and new alliances for our BRICS Legend project, and I hope next year we shall overcome with very big programs, and I hope we will communicate with whole world. We are not Western, Eastern or Southern or Eastern. We want one world, one family. In India we say Vasudev Kutumbakam, one family, one world. So we want that all should love and come together and live peacefully. And this is the message on the eve of Alexander Zinoviev, because he always worked for peace and love. And I hope today conference is in channel. It is very important to give his message of love and peace. Thank you very much.
Я со своей стороны хочу только... Спасибо, Purnima. Хочу...
On my side, I would like to add, yes, we're in a special, it's a special year. That's the year of the 100 years of the great Russian thinker Alexander Zinoviev. And our today's press event, our meeting, is part of these festivities. I would like to invite all those present, those who would pay attention to our press event, come on the 31st of October, on Monday, here to Russia Today, to a big conference. This is called Zinoviev Readings, that will be covered by all possible mass media. I would like to say that we together, and each of us, can do more than we have done before. Thank you very much, Ms. ANAND, Olga. I would like to thank you for the participation, for most interesting talks. I would like to wish you fruitful implementation of all your plans and projects. Always welcome to our information venue. Thank you.